And officer, while I was killing that gator, all the commotion brought in another one. So I said, here we go. I got me another one.
Everybody ready?
Y'all boys ready? Ready. Y'all boys ready? Ready. Y'all boys ain't ready. Shit.
All right. Everybody good?
Let's do it.
Welcome back, boys and girls.
I'm not here.
Welcome back to the Banger Podcast. I'm your host, Tristan. Brandon is no longer here.
I'm a tree.
He has a ghillie suit on. We have an amazing guest, former cameraman of Brandon's that went on to chase his dreams of being old green pants.
What is this, a damn motivational podcast? What the fuck is going on? This is Jay Gad, everybody.
Yeah, this is our buddy Jay Gad.
That's right.
Jay Gad.
That's
Jared
right.
Gad.
That's right. So Jay Gad and I have a beautiful history. We used to be in a long-term relationship of cameraman and YouTuber, and now we're convict and
Convict?
yeah, like I'm.
He's
like,
the convict.
I'm running
He's
from
the
the.
convict.
I'm
Yeah,
running
not
from the
you.
law, and you are the law. So
You ain't running from no law.
no,
Not yet.
you're right. I'm swimming from them.
You're breaking no laws out there.
Yeah, because they can't see me in my ghillie suit. No, but seriously, Jay Gad, he is now official game warden, protecting the waters and land of the state of Florida for how long now?
Not quite 2 years yet.
Oh, wow.
Coming
so
up.
So I've been out on my own off
So-
of training entirely for like a year.
So you've
Little
experienced
baby
some things.
Oh, dude,
a thing or two, yeah.
he's got some wild stories.
some things. So today we're going to jump into some of those things that old Jay Gad has experienced since he's left us, since he left Team Jiggin.
Didn't leave Team Jiggin.
Yeah, you just
Still hanging out with Team Jiggin.
Just
not working.
from binoculars. Now he's just looking at Team Jiggin from binoculars. He's across the lake like, look here, I know how this kid operates.
Got the inside scoop on
All
this
right.
situation.
Well,
So being an outdoorsman myself, it's when you see old green pants walking up, it can be a really good day or a really bad
is that
day.
a real nickname?
Oh,
Green Pants?
yes.
Absolutely,
You
yeah.
get called Green Pants?
Yeah, green,
Yes.
green jeans. There's
If
I
you
think there's a
see-
million
Oh,
different names for the
shit,
game warden.
really?
When
I didn't
you
know
see
that.
the game warden walking up, it's like driving past the police. Even if you're not doing anything wrong, you're like, oh, shit, I did something. I did something. It makes you rethink everything.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I feel like it is very hard as far as if you are trying, you can mess up, right? You can mess up. You could try to be doing the right thing, but you can be messing up, right? Because when we went to Missouri, Iowa,
Are
whatever.
you about to incriminate yourself?
No.
Okay. No.
No.
I would
When we
never.
went to Flair, when we went
Jay Gad's like,
Taking notes.
all right.
when we went to hunt with Flair,
Okay.
That's outside my
we had
jurisdiction, so you're
to
good.
get. It was so hard to get a license in
Yeah.
those other states. Now in Georgia and Florida, it's a very simple app. It's very simple what you need
Right.
for the most part. Now there are some times that you can mess up,
yeah.
and that's happened, right? Would you rather someone be like, "Hey, dude," they see you walking up, or if they did something and they're like, "Hey, man, I messed up."
Yeah, personally, like my outlook on it is if I can educate someone about what the law states as opposed to punishing someone, I would much rather take that route. That's just my philosophy and how I utilize my discretion as
Right.
an officer. There's a lot of times where you'll get a call, someone like basically call in on themselves and say, yeah, this is what happened.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, you're not going to, but that's just me. And depending on what it is,
it's
too.
the discretion of the officer essentially, and what happened.
Yeah, and obviously what it is. It's like if someone confesses to a murder to you.
Yeah,
you're like,
that's different.
Oh, at least he was honest about it. But like, yeah,
At least he's honest about it.
yeah, but like to a certain extent, honesty is always the best policy. So for sure, yeah, it's like, hey man, like as someone's walking, like if I'm walking down and check your fish license, if he's just like, hey man, I'll be honest with you, I don't got a fish license.
Yeah.
As opposed to just like leading you on this BS run around.
Yeah, trying to find it or
Yeah,
whatever.
honesty is always the best policy, bro. Your mama
And-
told you from day one.
Yeah,
You know,
no, that's what I was about to
still
say.
holds
Oh,
true with
mama,
everything.
mama told me, you don't lie. It's not as bad. It's not as bad as a whooping.
Well, I know for me, I've had some funny interactions with game wardens most of the time because I didn't really know. And I'm just doing my thing. And, You know, one thing about YouTube, T, is
I think I know a story that you have.
it's on the internet, you know? It's just, we put it out there and like, you know, I didn't ever know I was doing something wrong because I filmed it and put it on the internet.
Right.
You know, there's like a lot of those moments, and it's really fun. So I know I have a hilarious story. Do you have?
I know the story.
But do you have any hilarious stories?
I have a ton. Never
Jay
got
Gad.
caught, but
What'd you do?
It was outside. Where's your jurisdiction? It was definitely outside.
wait,
of
nothing
that.
in Georgia, right?
So Jay Gad, before you actually came a game warden, is there anything that like you learned since you've been a game warden where you're like, oh man, like that's a pretty unknown law that maybe like a lot of people.
Yeah. There's definitely some things like that. Just things that you hear. Like there's things that someone will tell you and you just like take that as the gospel.
Right.
Like, oh, this guy's been doing it forever. He told me that, so it's got to be true. And so there's things that happen like that all the time. Like, for example, when I was a kid, I've got a little 12-foot Ginu.
Yep.
And for years, I fished out of that 12-foot Ginu, slap a trolling motor on it, go down the river, go fishing, whatever.
Right.
If you've got a motorized vessel in the state of Florida, it's got to be registered.
Correct.
And so for years, I'm just riding dirty in this Ginu. No registration, just...
That's how I am in my Guggen boat right now. I mean, I don't have it because it's getting worked on, but I don't even have the paperwork for it. So Guggen could probably say I stole it from him and
They
I could just go to
definitely
jail.
could.
But I'm working on it. I'll get it ready before it's on the water. Totally different.
All right, well, tell your funny
Okay,
story.
so we'll just get into some funny stories here. I went to Hawaii. I mean, this was before I even had 100,000 subscribers, and Jake and I, we were spearfishing for the very first time in Hawaii. It was one of the coolest things ever, and man, this was like back in like 2017 or something like that.
Yeah.
This is a long time ago, and I bought a little baby spear gun, and D Almighty had a Hawaiian sling, little pole spear.
There you go.
A little sniper. So I didn't shoot anything in Hawaii, and it was my first time spearing. And now that like I've actually done a real spear mission with Ryan Myers in Hawaii, I realize why I didn't shoot anything. It's way harder. You have to be a way better spear fisherman than beginner, and I was totally beginner. Anyway, long story short, I didn't shoot anything. Jake shot a dead eel just to say he shot something. Like it was a dead eel, and then he shot it just to say, oh, something. Anyway, long story short, we get to Georgia in the Chattahoochee River, and Jake is like, Brandon, do you want to go spearfishing? I'm like, hell yeah, bro. Let's go there. What are we gonna do? He's like, well, I mean, we learned how to spear. Let's bring our spear guns and spear poles down to the Chattahoochee. Let's spear some. I was like, that's awesome. Plus, we're swimming with fish there all the time. We know there's hella fish there. It's gonna be easy, right? So we're diving down, and gizzard shad there are huge, bro. They're like a foot long and like just like a dinner plate swimming around. So I'm punching through gizzard shad, just sniping them out, and Jake has the funniest footage. It's terrible, but it is funny. The little gizzard shad's just eating on this little rock. He's eating algae, and he has a pole spear, so it's just sniping gizzard
Mind you,
shad.
Jake is the person that will save a spider.
Yeah.
Or save worms on the side of the
you know that, Jay.
Absolutely.
the sidewalk, and I'm like,
I always say he's the guy to accidentally step on an anthill and then go get them a little more dirt and put it beside the anthill so they have some building materials to fix his mistake. Like, that's Jake. He's a really kind-hearted guy. So, I don't know. I saw blood in his eyes, though, man. He was just drinking
there's something about having a spear in your hand that makes you want to shoot everything.
Yeah, it's like everything is a nail if you're the hammer or something like that. Just
dude, everything.
So, there's some catfishermen. Now, mind you, we're making videos like this whole thing. There's some catfishermen who are like, hey, man, y'all are getting some fish. Will you get us a catfish? So now we're just like getting the menu for these boys. We're like, what kind of catfish you want, man? Give me a blue channel cat about yay big. It's like, no worries. Dive down there, snipe up a channel cat, toss it to the guy. So we're filming everything. It's so cool. And then
this would be an amazing video.
It was. I mean, it's a great video. We couldn't ever put it on the internet because of the end of this story. But then I was guilty first. I dove down and saw the biggest striped bass in my life. It's quite honestly the biggest striped bass I've ever seen in my life. Clearly, like, if you would have posted that fish on the Columbus Fishing Forum back in 2017, the town would have knew who you were. Like, it was that big.
Golly.
So I sniped it, man. I sniped the shit out of it. Dude, I mean, I didn't stone him. He damn near drug my ass around. He was big. I mean, he was literally probably 2.5 foot. I've got pictures of the, do I still have pictures on my Instagram? I used to. We'll get to that too. So I showed Jake. I'm like, damn, bro, you're not going to believe this shit. He was like, oh my God, that's crazy. Like, oh my God. So we were going like tit for tat. I'd shoot.
And y'all are free diving.
Oh, yeah, we're free diving. Dude. And I'm talking about, but the thing is, none of the fish went to waste that we got, right? Like, that fish got given to one of the fishermen, and everything we had got given to one of the fishermen. Even the gizzard shad that we were shooting, we were given to a kid who was trying to catch the big gar that run up and down that. So it was pretty cool. And we were just having a blast and filming it ourselves for any camera guys or anything like that. And then Jake's like, well, I want to get one. He dives down there, and he just has a little pole spear, you know? Boom! He gets one, too. He gets one.
He got one with a pole spear?
Holy shit. Now, mind you, that's like shooting a gag grouper.
Yeah, that's impressive.
It was and it's
very
like
impressive.
It's like one of the
Illegal, but
smaller, yes, illegal but impressive, yes. It was like the pole spear you have for like the little mangrove snapper.
Like a 3-prong.
Yeah, exactly like that. So he blasts one, dude. We're like, oh my gosh, dude, we're having the best time. I mean, literally, bro, the best time of our lives. Knew no better. And also, spearfishing in Georgia is not a big thing. So it's like,
No, I've never heard of it.
no one's there to tell us
Probably
anything.
Because
the first and only.
And it wasn't like we were hiding it, bro. We're like, what do you want? Dive down. Okay, there you go, man. What do you want? I mean, literally, like, probably 10 to 20 fish easy that day. Like game fish, clearly game fish.
and those guys on the bank are sitting there like, man, I miss them boys. You remember that time?
Oh, yeah.
Them boys were spearing them fish. We didn't have to fish.
They hooked it up.
They came home to their wives, and they're like, baby, you ain't going to believe what I caught. Now, I did have to run a hole through the side of him just to make sure he wouldn't get away, put him on a stringer sideways. But anyway, we post these pictures on Instagram. Me and Jake, proud as hell, man. Got this big ass striped bass and my spear gun in the same hand. Post that on Instagram, and Jake posts a picture of his striped bass and his pole spear. We're like, first day spearing the Chattahoochee. That's the caption, and it was awesome, man. I was like, I can't wait for the video, you know, whatever. And I have this footage somewhere. I gotta find it just for fun. But
Absolutely.
Jake calls me the next day, and we have this is like a side note. It's not that important to this story, but we also have a thing like when we call each other, what do we do?
We're like, what up, bitch?
What up, my you know, like we'll say whatever, right? It's like, what up, little boy? Like we'll say whatever, you know?
Accurate.
And yeah, you know.
I can't confirm.
Yes,
I can confirm.
And so Jake calls me, and I'm like, what's up, mother? And he's like, hey, Brandon, I got you on speakerphone. And I got the game warden here with me. He actually asked if you could come to my house or he could just go to your house. And I was like, first of all, I'm embarrassed. I just said, what up, motherfucker, to the game warden, basically. And then I was in my head, I was like, okay, well, this person doesn't know where I live yet. So I'd rather just go to Jake's house if this guy is requesting for a conversation.
Right.
And in my head, I had no clue what it was about. You know, like I don't know. And I go to Jake's.
You're like, this is like getting called to the principal's office.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
It's like that long walk to the principal's office where you're like, I don't really know what I just did.
Yeah.
Oh, God. And so anyway, I get to Jake's house, and he's like ghost-faced. I'm like, oh, shit. I wish he was here because I'm sure there's some details on his side of him being with that guy that I didn't experience. But when I got there, the game warden basically pulls up our Instagram pictures and is like, is this you boys? There wasn't a dumber question he could have asked. It was clearly us. I mean, it was more of like, he should have just said, hey, we got your ass. Not, is this you?
Yeah.
What would you have done if, as a game warden, if you pulled out that picture and I was like, that's not me. I don't know who that is. What do you do?
You can't fix stupid, brother.
But is that enough proof to make me guilty?
What?
Just
like
the picture?
Yeah, just the picture.
That's a lengthy conversation, but yes and no. Yes and no.
Is it enough for a warrant?
You don't need. I mean,
he's like, you don't need no warrant.
You wouldn't need a warrant. like if you murdered somebody and you took a picture with the dead body.
Allegedly.
If you're holding the dead body in your hand.
Photoshop. Anyway, look, it was before Photoshop was really hot. All right. No, so I was like, clearly, I was like, yes, that's us. He's like, well, you know, you can't spearfish game fish in the state of Georgia.
So let me ask you a question. And you may or may not know.
Yeah.
I don't know what the laws in Georgia.
I know them now.
Can you spearfish? Can you spearfish at? Thank you. Can you spearfish at all in Georgia?
Yes.
In
So
freshwater.
So in Florida, which is where we are,
Yep.
you cannot spear in freshwater at all. Matter of fact, I believe you can't even have a spear gun or system on your vessel in freshwater. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah. So you cannot possess any illegal method of take and also be in possession of game fish.
Right. Oh, and game fish.
Yep.
Okay. I thought it was just in
It's a
general.
possession thing. Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's like certain places you can't possess spear guns, like state parks and things like
Right.
that. You can't even have the spear gun in the state park.
Right.
Yeah.
So in Georgia, well, it's weird because the Chattahoochee is on Georgia side and on the other side of the river is Alabama. So it's already weird. It's like, what fishing license do you need?
Both.
It's really?
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I definitely
depending on
had
what
both.
side of the river you're on. Yeah. Technically, you have to have both.
So there's already like a mess of laws there, right? It gets kind of confusing fast for your just average citizen, especially if they're spearfishing in the river. So it turns out Georgia claims it as a Georgia body of water,
Okay.
from what I was told. And you are allowed to spearfish in Georgia, but you have to be fully submerged, which I guess basically means you can't be like knee-deep water where you're spear gun and freaking blasting them like that, which is kind of a weird law anyway. I'm not sure how that got developed, but you have to be fully submerged, and you can only shoot gar or carp non-game fish species.
Okay.
So
I'm
no
tracking.
catfish. You can't even shoot gizzard shad. That's what we found out.
They consider gizzard shad a game fish?
Correct. Weird,
Interesting.
right? And again, this is off what I was told by this officer
Right.
back in 2017. But if you ever look up my name, like you'll see the whole story.
I have to pull that up. That's pretty funny.
It's pretty
public
funny.
record somewhere for sure.
I had one of my buddies call me a long time ago and was like, "Is this true about you?" I was like, "Yeah, dude, it's pretty funny." So anyway, what was that noise?
Something just came out of my mouth.
That was weird. Like, anyway, long story short, the officer basically told us what we did wrong. You can't spear these fish. Dude, we got so many complaints, and you just had to spear the biggest striped bass that you saw, which made it no better for you. Turns out, I had a fishing license at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I also had a flappy boy on my spear, which is required for spearfishing in Georgia, believe it or not, like the flapper on the
flopper,
spear.
yeah.
Flopper. Jake was using the 3-prong, no flopper, because it's just 3 points. It had baby little barbs, but he didn't consider that
Right.
a flopper. So I guess it really had to be a real big dangle flopper thing. And he didn't have a fishing license at the time. Now, mind you, he told us I could charge you for every single fish you got. But I'm not going to do that. Like, you guys didn't know. No one does this. So it's not like you definitely knew or whatever. And we
Right.
explained to him, like, we just got back from Hawaii, da-da-da. So gave us a stern talking to. But he was like, Jordan, since you at least had your flopper and you had a fishing license, which shows like you're trying to abide by whatever, you're good. This is a warning. And Jake, since you weren't using a flopper, also taking game fish, and you didn't have a fishing license, he got a citation for that. I was like, damn. I was like,
So was it just a ticket, or do you have to go to court? How'd that pan out?
pretty sure it was just a fat ticket. But basically, it could have been a lot worse for us.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And it was just ignorance. Like, we didn't know, didn't even think to
Clearly.
look it up.
I mean, when you're posting things like that on the internet,
Oh, yeah.
it's pretty obvious you have no clue.
He did tell us, though, if we posted that footage, he would come back. I was like, oh, shit. What's that mean? Like, he basically told us, he was like, don't post that. He was like, you have his kid watched us, too. He's like, you have a
Right.
big influence. He's like, don't post that shit. You don't want people to think. And,
That's understandable.
You know, Jake, he was like, what? the footage is good, the story is good, and we'll say, not to do it, and then we got in trouble. But, so Jake was kind of pushing to, like, let us post the video. Like, how are you going to keep us from posting it? In my head, I'm like, dude, we just dodged a fat bullet. Like, don't push it.
He's still pushing the agenda a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, especially after he got the fine. He was like, well, I mean, I already got a fine, so.
So, what's the highest fine that you've had to give out before?
Oh, that is a good one.
So a lot of it I don't really know because I mean I can look it up and follow it and see what happens to the case after the fact. But a lot of the way we operate under what's called like a notice to appear. Yeah. So basically, a lot of the fishing violations, aside from like just your license stuff, are misdemeanors. So they're technically they're criminal offenses.
Right.
And so, say you're over the bag limit of bass or whatever, I write you your notice to appear. You have to show up in court, and then the judge sets your fine amount. Okay. So so a second degree misdemeanor, the max fine you can get is $500 in Florida. So if I write you 3 misdemeanors, technically your max fine could be $1,500.
Right.
A lot of time that's not what happens, but again, that's up to the judge. It's not me saying, I don't know, like $700 sounds good. It's not. That's not the way it works.
Yeah,
so it's all up to the court system.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was like you write this ticket for this. Like if you're trespassing, this is a set amount you can get. Okay.
No, because obviously, like with different charges, there's different stipulations. Like one trespass isn't the same as another trespass, so it all goes to court. The judge says, "This is what I think it deserves." And
right, you've been caught trespassing before, so we know you're going to do it again. This is the bigger.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So like once I write it, it's kind of like, I come to a situation, I assess the situation. I said I write up a report, says this is what happens, hand it to the court system, and then they decide what your punishment is. I have no say in what your punishment is. I just say this is what happened, and then they do with that what they will.
It's a cool ass job, dude.
It's a cool job. And knowing you, I'm like, dude, he's a great guy. I know he's doing what he needs to do, but there's got to be some just buttholes out there.
Game warden?
Yeah.
I mean, that's with anything, bro.
No, I know. That's with anything. That's YouTube, police, firemen.
All of it. Yeah,
everybody.
There's good people.
Walmart workers.
There's a bunch of
dude. Yeah.
Walmart. Even their greeters look at you like, "Welcome to Walmart."
So do you? Goodness.
Get your shit and get the
get out of Walmart, you bitches.
That's like, have you seen the TikToks where it's like different drive-thrus? Like at Chick-fil-A, they're like, matter of fact, we'll go ahead and pay for your order. Thank you so much for coming to the.
You forgot your sauce.
Burger King's like, can I help you?
Like, Popeye's like, what the fuck you want?
Get the out of my drive-thru! No. All right, moving on. Sick.
100% true. 100% true.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody happy in Burger King, bro.
No.
Yeah.
Not a single soul.
Now, T, do you have any outstanding warrants for your arrest?
No.
Due to illegally harvesting deer?
No, no.
Definitely
never. No. No, I don't. I love deer hunting so much that I just, like, when it comes to poaching on that, it's kind of...
It's just not your favorite thing to do anymore?
No, I don't like it anymore.
Yeah. Got the asterisk next to...
No, because, like, whenever...
that statement.
Listen. So, like, I feel like for fish and stuff like that, it's a little bit different. It's in the eyes of the law, it's the same.
Poaching fish is okay? No,
I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's... For me, it would be, if I were to poach something, it would probably be fish.
Allegedly, here, O.J. Simpson over here, like, I didn't do it, but if I did, I would have done it. I would definitely bring my wireless spotlight next time instead of the wired.
I've been to that rehab program, and I do not poach deer anymore. I mean, you know, unless the landowner, if it's an old lady and I know she don't hunt, then I might take a doe.
But other than that,
I will not poach wildlife anymore.
Unless there's that one.
You know, unless I'm sitting on, if I ain't killed nothing that year, and you know,
kids got to eat.
It's late. My old lady ain't ate this week, and I might have to. Yeah, I might have to take that buck off that man's land, but I don't poach. No. Nope, not no more.
Honestly, this is we're clearly making a joke here. Jesus Christ.
Hopes that there's some folks that get that reference.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
People are sending this pod. Hey, dude, actually, send this pod to your local wildlife resource officer and get us some views, man. You know what I'm
for
saying?
Sure.
My email's gonna be blowing up.
They're watching the whole, and our watch time's about to go up because they're watching the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
Wait for
Yeah,
us to mess up.
we're gonna drop all the illegal shit that we haven't got caught for at the end of this podcast. So make sure to stay tuned to the end of the pod. Get that watch time up, baby. Ain't that right? Hey, we got to get these viewers up somehow.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, if you go to audio only on Amazon, Spotify, Radio Shack, we keep saying Radio Shack, but I'm pretty sure we're
Not
making that
Radio.
shit up.
Radio Shack
Apple
does not
Podcasts.
exist anymore.
If you go to our audio only, we'll definitely tell you how you can get us arrested.
Yeah, at the
For
end.
sure. Yeah, at the very end.
And just, all you wildlife people out there, leave a comment. Leave a rating.
Comment the illegal shit that.
God, their illegal shit was good. 5 stars.
So, Jay Gad, press it again for me. Yeah, just keep it ripping. We've talked about our illegal activities that we may or may not have got caught for. The laugh track? You're throwing me out here, bro. What? I know you have some crazy stories. You've been in 2 years. We talked a little bit, as friends about some different stuff that you've experienced. Kind of cool. You honestly have got me wanting to do it if YouTube ever crashes and burns, like maybe in the next 4 months. So, what? Is there anything you can tell us, like some crazy stuff you've experienced?
For sure. Yeah. So probably the one call that I went to that was just like one of those off the wall shock factor, like dang kind of things that I experienced. I got a call about, it was a single vehicle rollover and there were some alligators. That's basically the information I
Wait, there's a rolled over vehicle
single vehicle rollover
with alligators.
and there's some alligators.
Like he
And
rolled over into an
sheriff's
alligator
office-
pit?
Sheriff's
Or
office was requesting me to come. That's all I knew.
Oh,
And
shit.
so I'm going.
God.
You have no idea.
I had
Those are the 2 details you got.
vehicle rollover, alligators.
Hey, what's your first thought? You get that?
I think the alligators are in the truck.
I'm thinking some dude is in a swamp, rolled over, and he's about to get his ass bit. He's requesting backup
Yeah.
immediately.
So I'm headed that way.
Okay.
I show up on scene. First thing I see, there's a white Ford Explorer rolled over on its side, on its passenger side.
Checked off box number 1.
And
Box number 2. Here we come.
so like a Ford Explorer, they've got that little window on the back that opens without
Correct.
opening.
You
got
got
to
to press the little special button.
right.
Yeah.
So there's
2 buttons.
Ain't no special button on this Ford Explorer.
Oh, shit.
This is an old Ford Explorer.
Okay, no special buttons
But
here.
there's a just like the window
Yeah.
was hanging open, and out of the window was 2 alligators.
No
one
They're
8 foot long, and one
Oh,
was 6.5 foot long.
shit.
they're just both chilling back there?
They're hanging out the window.
Oh.
Wait,
both of them.
I'm
Are
so
they dead?
confused. Which window?
Well,
Okay.
I
Wait,
thought they
what
were dead.
Okay. Oh, fuck. Did he just say he thought they were dead? Oh, shit.
So they're just like this out the window.
Basically,
Like they
bro.
just got rolled in with the
Yes.
of the cab or of like the back and it had a topper on it?
No,
not like a
it's
topper,
a Ford
but like-
Explorer.
right.
Oh, it's a SUV.
Yes.
Oh
yes,
my
yes.
God.
Yes.
Okay, my
Yeah.
little brain, dude. I don't know what's
Yeah,
going on.
so I
Okay.
roll up, Ford Explorer on his passenger side, Gator's hanging out in the back, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I walk up,
And the
one of the
person.
sheriff's deputies was already there, and there's 2 younger, I say kids, they were adults, but young enough to know better. I'll say that.
Young 20s or something?
They were, I can't, I'm not gonna say their age, but they were younger.
Okay.
They were younger.
Okay.
But the gist of the story is I pull up, and I'm like, I'm talking to the sheriff's deputy. I'm like, what the heck happened? And he kind of gives me the rundown. He's like, so there's these 2 kids, they were out fishing. Somehow or another, they ended up catching these gators, killed them, threw them in the back of the truck, and on the way home, somehow they crashed and wrecked.
Mind you, this is not a truck. This is
It's a Ford
They're
Explorer,
in
bro.
the vehicle
No,
with these
yes.
skaters.
Yes.
They're
And-
essentially in
in
the
the
back.
cab.
And it's
Yeah.
an 8-footer and a 6-footer?
They're not babies, bro.
That's a pretty good sized
baby.
gator.
This is some Florida shit right here.
6 foot and
Absolutely,
up,
yeah.
I worry about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This is some Florida boy shit right here.
buddy.
That is actually the perfect Florida Man title.
Yeah.
Florida Man rolls over vehicle with alligators inside.
Pretty much. Pretty
Damn.
much. Ain't nothing that epitomizes Florida more than gators.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Okay.
true.
So
so I come walking up, and so the sheriff's officer gives me the rundown. I come up, I'm interviewing the kids, talking to them, And long story short, these boys were out fishing.
Oh no.
You know, you've been fishing before with
Yeah.
around gators. You know how they're curious.
Yep.
You throw out your cork or whatever,
Yep.
and the gator will come over and bite your cork.
You
or it'll
can
look at your
never
cork.
topwater frog around a
No.
gator. He's coming.
This is what they say happened. So the gators were harassing him apparently.
Yep.
Dude buddy just happened to have a big old rope and a snatch hook at the back of his truck. He said, "Light bulb, I got a solution for this problem.
Gator ain't gonna bite my cork no
I'm gonna-
goddamn
I'm
more.
gonna snatch him on up and throw him in the back of the truck." So he snatches him up. Guess how he puts him out? Dude ain't got a bang stick or a rifle or nothing. He's a kid.
What, he choke this gator? What the hell did this kid do?
You ever been around like a bridge and you know like the riprap and the rocks and stuff?
Oh.
Dude picks up a rock,
My God.
beats a gator over the top of the head, and so I just smacked the heck out of this thing.
Wait, he
that
just-
was me
he-
beating the gator, smacking the microphone. At the
He
same time.
just, he just went,
literally caveman style, and killed this
wow.
gator. And he said, "An officer, while I was killing that gator, all the commotion brought in another one." And so I said, "Here we go. I got me another one. Snatched him up too."
2 for 2, bitch.
So
Gator number
I
3
thought these
learned his
things
lesson
were
and
dead.
stayed out.
I thought these gators were dead.
Oh
I come walking up, and before I interviewed these kids, I was checking out the gators. I come walking up, and like I've got a catch pole. It's like a long pole with a
Like a
wire
wire.
that runs through
Yeah.
it, and it's got a noose on the end. You can snatch it, and it won't give no slack. You can,
Right,
It's like
right.
a noose. And I come walking up with my catch pole, and I like poke him, and the gator's like
Oh no.
just enough to where I'm like, yeah, I better put some tape on these boys.
Oh, they're not taped up?
No tape, no nothing, bro. They're just in the back of the truck, just chilling.
Oh, I was definitely in my head picturing
No.
tape.
He's,
Nothing.
he's saying truck, but it is a car. Essentially.
Basically,
Yeah, SUV.
It's an SUV.
SUV.
So I drag them up, tape them up, whatever, and then I interview these boys, and they tell me pretty
What the
much
story.
happened. Yeah, so
Damn,
crazy.
bro.
So they both. Long story short, they took alligators out of season. They had a court date. It was settled, all done.
Damn.
Wow.
That's pretty ballsy, though.
So yeah, that
That's what I told him. I was like, hey, just regardless of the legal side of things,
Yeah.
I'm impressed with what you boys did.
Yeah, they
because
beat the
I ain't beating no gator over the head with a rock.
they got in the
No
most
chance.
dangerous part of it was his head, you know?
that's crazy, bro.
I mean, just two
And
young kids and
I'm
a
pulling-
rock taking
I'm
out
pulling the gators
gators.
out of the truck, and the kid's like, "Hey man, you want me to help you with that?" And I'm like, "Nah, I don't want you to get hurt." And he's looking at me like, "Bro, I just killed these things with my bare hands."
Yeah. Oh my. But if he did get hurt, it will be on you.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's like
So I'm
it's
like,
not worth it.
Listen, I got it, man. You don't want to. You've already done enough illegal stuff today. Let me handle this.
That's
Don't
fine.
worry, man. I got my own rocks in the truck. Jesus Christ.
So actual dream of mine is to actually
Body
harvest-
slam a gator.
to kill a gator with my bare
That
hands.
is not a legal method of harvest. Just so you know, rocks
Yeah.
are off the menu.
Wait, are they really?
They
you
should
you
be.
actually that surprises me that you can't kill a gator in gator season with a rock.
Why does that surprise you?
Because I feel like a bang stick's a lot more dangerous than a rock.
It's probably a little more humane, wouldn't you say?
Unless you got a big ass rock. One time, one hitter quitter.
I don't know how you swinging that rock, but I ain't
Either
one hitter
way,
quitter no
I
gator.
want to take a alligator. I just want I want to be able to eat the alligator meat, and I want to have the big
Let's
black
go.
skull. God,
Season
that'd be so
is
sick.
coming up, dude.
Honestly, T, I think
Why are you putting that over your head, dude?
I don't know, man. I feel like the deeper we get into this, the more I gotta hide. You know?
Every cutscene is gonna add something to the ghillie suit. It's like next is the chest plate, next is the rifle.
Yeah. Honestly, I think the Banger Bros. Oh, by the way, Jay Gad, you're an honorary Bang Bro now.
yeah, you are.
So I don't know how
I
you're.
think I'm excited about that.
Yeah,
All you have to
should
do
be.
is at the end of the podcast, when we cut the cameras off, we just bend you over
Yeah.
and
Cut
Well-
right there. I'm done.
What cut the cameras? You're ready or what? Cut it. I'm done. I'm good. This podcast. Let's get to the bang part.
Heard all I need to hear, bro.
I think the Banger Bro pod. We should have like a gator head. Like we should go out on a gator hunt.
Let's go.
Yeah, I would.
Like a legal.
It's coming up soon. Yeah, so like for applications for the first phase is in the next few days, so you can put in for Florida residents. It's like
So I
$300
could
bucks, give or take.
perfect.
I can't
We can
put
all
in
go.
for a
Let's
tag.
go. Well, you're not a Florida resident, so it'll cost you more money. But what you,
He lives here a week out of every month.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna fly. Out.
But officer, I do the Banger podcast.
Our subscribers should have sent it to you.
Okay.
But
Well,
if
then
one of us
I'll
pull
just go.
tags,
Yeah, I'll just
then
go with you
can-
guys.
You can get the agent's license and then come along with us.
Cool.
I
That'd
think
be
that
cool.
costs more too for out of state folks.
Yeah,
I should probably know this, but
I love that though. I think we get some gator meat this year.
That would be sick.
But we have to. It's like a lottery system, so we got to get picked.
yeah.
But
I
that's
imagine
cool.
if enough of our buddies put in, one of us will get drawn, so we'll get to go and hunt, and then you can have as many people
Come
help
with you.
you as you want. Yeah,
That's
as long as the person that
cool.
holds the tag is there. So like,
That's really
That's
cool.
really cool.
I got a new boat that I want to take out on some
The jet
adventures.
boat.
So
let's go.
Has there been any crazy stories with alligators other than them hanging out the window? No. Okay, hold on. Finish this real fast. When you said hanging out the window, were they literally like head out the window, like hanging, or like tail?
yeah. One of them was one of them's head was out the window, and then the other one was just like tucked up in there. So when I first got there, I thought there was one.
damn,
And then I get
Oh
up
my
and I
God.
was like, dang, they got two in there. But yeah, that's kind of crazy.
bro. That's pretty wild. I remember. I don't know if this, if we had to cut this or what, but I remember during scallop season, I got to hang out with you and a lot of like the fellow game wardens that all got kind of shipped to that area. It was
Yeah,
pretty
in
cool.
Crystal
I
River,
didn't know that was a thing too, that game wardens kind of get moved around during
Yeah.
popular times
Absolutely.
in specific places.
Yeah. So like during big events, like whether it be boating holidays or scallop season, lobster season,
Right,
in the
down in the
Keys,
Keys.
things like that.
Mini
Yeah.
season.
Yeah,
Probably.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Mini season gets popping.
Yeah.
But they'll send more help down there just to get some more officers down there in the area to help out. Absolutely.
I remember there was one time, like game wardens get such an array of different things. Like sometimes you're going to a weird accident involving alligators, and sometimes you're just checking people's fishing license on a dock, and sometimes you're across the lake with binoculars in a ghillie suit, just like this, counting people's fish that they're putting in their live well, right?
All of the above. Yes, sir.
I remember there was a picture that I saw. A fellow game warden, he had to take a deer in front of a space shuttle or something like that.
Yeah, I actually know that kid. He was at did you see that picture at Crystal River? Because he was at Crystal River, that guy.
I saw it when we had that barbecue, and it was like all the game wardens there.
Yeah,
But
so-
I remember he was talking about, he was like, no one will ever have a picture like this. He's
Yeah.
got a buck in front of a space shuttle, Tristan. A full-ass space shuttle that went to outer space, and he's got a deer that he had to
Yeah.
take.
I don't know all the
like that.
details of that one, but I think the deer was on the runway or something, or maybe it was injured, and he had to come out and put it down. I'm not sure what
Yeah. There was something,
specifics
though.
of that situation were, but
Yeah.
it's
It was-
kind of
It
neat.
was like a one-of-one opportunity.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's sick.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I might be a game warden too.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Hey, poachers make the best game wardens because they already know the ins and outs. But you got to just quit poaching.
Did he just call you a poacher?
Become a game warden.
I'm gonna let that slide.
I'm just assuming.
That's pretty funny. No, I think there's a lot of like funny interactions. I know I actually get calls all the time. Not necessarily all the time. I get like 2 or 3 a year from game wardens of the state of Florida because of old treasure videos I've done where they were what's weird about content is my Facebook team could take something I did on YouTube and put it on Facebook tomorrow, and it looks like I just did it.
Right,
But
yeah.
it happened back in
Yeah, years ago.
2018 or whatever.
Yeah.
And I get calls at least 2 a year
Yeah.
of old videos of me metal detecting in a state park, and I, again, had no idea. And they'd be like, you can't do this. Da, da, da. I'm like, I know. I talked to someone about that. I need to start writing people's names down. And like, there's got to be case numbers because I'm getting peppered by people consistently with the same old
Same
videos.
questions from the same videos.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
I don't know. You have anything like that, T? I remember Jake got called one time. He was fishing in a spring or something like that.
Oh, underwater.
He answered. He's like, "Hello, there, Jacob." Just being funny. It's like, "Hey, Mr. Jake, this is so and so with the Florida Game Department.
Hey, this isn't Jacob.
You've reached my voicemail. Leave a..." No, but he got on this conversation for like an hour, and he was like, "What do I do?" He was panicking, man. But yeah, they'll straight up call you, dude. They'll straight up give you a call. You ever had anything like that, T?
No,
From any old videos? I know Flair's dealt with it. Ayo had like a bad situation with it. He had he bought some crawfish on Amazon.
Oh, man.
And then put them in a pond, but the pond wasn't his. So he was trespassing on a neighbor's pond or something like that. He called me freaking out, and I guess like I don't know, it was on their podcast or he talked about it or something, but there's like a whole bunch of just weird things you wouldn't think about. And it was,
maybe they just haven't found my number yet, but I haven't gotten any calls.
Yeah. Goodness gracious, man. So, Jay Gad, it's going good for you. Game warden lifestyle, it's going good.
I'm loving it. This is the only thing I wanted to do since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
Just growing up, fishing and hunting and camping and just interacting with game wardens growing up, you know.
Right.
It's just all I've wanted to do since I was little. So,
living the actual dream.
yeah,
Wow.
I love it. Love it. Feel like I can make a little bit of a difference in the state I'll call home.
Yeah. That's a big thing. I know when we were filming together, so Jared worked at Dick's Sporting Goods, just literally as a holding place to wait to become a game warden.
Yeah,
It
while I was
like
in school. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like how long was the time from when you put in your application to actually being considered and going through training?
It was a couple of years.
Yeah.
Because when I went into the academy, it was during COVID too, and so it got pushed back, and it was a long process, but yeah, definitely well worth it.
I know he was at Dick's Sporting Goods.
That's where I met him for the first time.
Dick's Sporting Goods?
I was picking
What?
up
I
a
remember
fishing
that.
reel.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Wait, and we were just together? And
Yep.
Yeah, we were going fishing on Kissimmee with Ricky,
Yep.
Yeah.
and I needed a left-handed reel,
Yeah.
and so I went, and you were working the back, and you were like, "Yeah, I would get this one or this one or this one." And I was
Wow.
like, all right, yeah, I'll take that one.
So we went from Jay Gad working at Dick's Sporting Goods, and he was pretty handy with a camera, literally in his spare time, wildlife photos. So I was like, man, this kid's talented with a camera. I need some help, and brought him on to be a camera guy. And it was awesome, dude. We had some awesome adventures. I think one of my favorite memories, and I think you remember this too, one of my favorite memories of Jared Gad is like, it just shows how much he loved like the outdoors. We were at Jenny Springs, and we were camping for, I don't know.
It was like a week almost.
Yeah.
You were there.
Yeah.
It was like a week or so. It was a while. I
Yeah.
mean, we were really like
No,
bunkered
we were-
in there.
We were there.
And every morning we'd wake up and be like, where the hell is Jay Gad? That motherfucker's in his underwear, just swimming in the river. He's fishing for little bluegill. Dude,
Yeah, buddy.
there's bluegill over here.
every time that camera got put down, this motherfucker went on an adventure. And you could just tell, like, it was the little kid in him, just like, I love this shit.
No, that's one thing that I like.
It's like inspiring.
Yeah,
damn near.
it was like, it kind of, it was on the end of the like, dude, everything that we had done at that moment, we had done it at least twice or three times. And
Yeah,
it was kind of
right.
like, God, like, man.
You didn't feel that spark.
Yeah, but like seeing that in his eyes
Yeah.
and like what he was doing, I was like, dude, this place is actually
Yeah.
so much fun, you know? And
We all had been to Jenny at that point, like I feel like dozens of times.
Yeah.
And that
Oh,
was my
yeah.
first time experiencing the place. So I
Right.
was just like, I've been back like 2 or 3 times. Yeah. Even still, dude, I'm like, man, this place is crazy cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
it is an awesome place. But that's like how my things have changed as far as like what I enjoy. Like I still enjoy going to Jenny and stuff like that. But showing somebody Jenny for the first time,
Yeah.
it is the coolest thing.
You know what I think part of this is? This is a weird turn here, but
Yeah.
I think it like literally is putting us in the place of like where having kids is so important because
Yeah.
showing
Yes. Yeah,
people
absolutely.
something new for the first time
Yeah.
or watching someone catch their first fish or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like that is exciting as and imagine like having a kid. I mean, I do this with my dog. I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, you want to go swimming today? He's like, holy shit, we're going swimming. Oh my God. You know how Reef is?
Yeah.
He goes nuts. Like, imagine a little Twan running around,
Yeah.
just getting after it, just poaching deer with dad, you know?
Oh,
Spotlighting the big bucks.
No,
He's going to hold a light for you.
No.
You know?
You hang your
Yeah.
22 out the window.
I'm gonna be holding the light. He's gonna be on my shoulders.
I ain't saying shoot it, but if you accidentally slip on the trigger, just make sure it's pointed at
Now,
him.
son, we're looking for coyotes, but if they happen to have horns,
Yeah.
I got you. Have you seen that TikTok where, like, in some places it's illegal to bait deer? Have you seen those TikToks where people dump out corn? It's like, this is for squirrels only. And if I see a deer eating my goddamn squirrel's corn, I'm going to shoot him. Have you seen that shit? Have you ever ran across some crazy ass, like, excuse like that? Like, no, this is
Like,
squirrel
can you
corn.
bait? Can you
No,
bait
not
deer
really.
in Florida?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
The bait site has to be established for 6 months, and you can only bait on private property.
See, that's like what the first
Georgia,
answer is like.
Georgia's like, please get these deer out of here.
Yeah,
We're having too many car accidents.
it's another ball game down here. for
Yeah.
sure.
Hey, you
That's
know
crazy.
what? You know what's crazy about Florida? I didn't really realize till Jay Gad. There's real Florida Panthers. I mean, we got stalked
Bro,
by one, but I'm saying it's a
there's
real
one
thing here.
Here in Lakeland.
No.
Yes.
Really?
Yes, close, bro. Yes.
Wait a minute.
It's been captured on like Ring doorbell footage. Yeah.
Holy shit! I thought you were gonna say trail cam.
No, bro.
Ring doorbell footage.
And like residential areas.
Oh shit! My grandma swore she's all a big ass cat, and I was like, Grandma, you're just getting old.
Chill
man."
out, Granny. That's awesome.
Close,
Could you
dude.
imagine? Could
Yeah.
you imagine like an older like grandparent?
Dude, that chocolate lab's coming out straight for me. Oh!
Yeah, get it.
That's nuts.
Damn,
bro.
that's pretty
Yeah.
wild.
We picked up I didn't pick up one, but one of the
Cougar?
yeah, they picked up a dead one recently, not
Oh,
far from here.
really?
Like I'm not gonna say exactly where, obviously,
Yeah.
because
What was her
I don't wanna
name?
give away Brandon.
How old was she? That bitch was 40.
Just as a big cougar guy.
There was a joke that,
Oh man.
what's his name? The mullet guy on freaking, he's funny. He's got a podcast.
Theo Vaughn?
Theo Vaughn.
Yeah,
We're
I
going to
love that
see
guy.
him in Columbus, which I'm super
you
excited
really?
about.
He's
Yeah.
Dude, I'm
coming. He's
jealous.
coming to town here too.
Yeah. So
Let's go.
Theo Vaughn, he's like, man, I was down there and it's like I was down there in the state of Louisiana. Woo! Man, he said something to the extent of like cougars, and he was like, that bitch wouldn't stop biting me on the neck.
Yeah, that guy's funny, man. You know, our comment section is pretty like hot with people
Oh, with
calling
the
you
mullet?
like
Yeah.
the off-brand Theo.
Damn.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
kind of
Thing,
cool because like
Yeah.
if you were Theo, the off-brand Theo is actually more Theo
Yeah.
if you think about it. Yeah. So Jay Gad,
Yes.
we talked a lot about game warden stuff. We'll probably rip back into it, but a lot of people may or may not know that you are my certified spearfishing buddy.
Absolutely, yeah.
We gonna get after it this year? I'm like ripe and ready to go, dude.
I went a couple days ago just to get the old gills wet again.
No shit.
Yeah,
really?
it sucked. I didn't see anything.
Your,
Didn't shoot
pho-
anything.
your phone wasn't working, or
It was just like a last minute kind of thing.
yeah, I mean that's how I
That's,
operate.
hey,
but-
you. Long story short, you didn't miss nothing. I couldn't see nothing. I didn't shoot nothing.
That's pretty much all of our trips.
Dude, we get after.
No,
it.
we
kill
really
some
we
fish.
get lucky as.
We kill some fish.
I was talking to a lot of new people in the spear world in Tampa. Do you know why we're so lucky?
I have no clue.
Lucky as in like getting to shoot big fish? Because nobody dives where we dive because it's the dumbest place to dive. There's literally hogfish and bigger gags and all types of like cobia and shit like a couple miles away
How
from where
dumb
we
is
are.
it though if we're getting what we want?
For now, until we get bull sharked, we've got very lucky.
That's the thing though. In Tampa Bay, you can't see enough to know if the sharks are there. So it's just like out of sight, out of mind.
You know
Do your
what's
thing.
you know what's about Jared? I have this really long. It's called, I don't know. It's like a shark.
Yeah,
a
I
shark
remember.
Shield. Shark shield.
Yeah.
That's what it
I
is.
remember when you got that, I was like,
But it's actually like a long. I mean, it's like a 7-foot long antenna you wear on your ankle, and it actually like pulsates electricity into the water. And the only reason he doesn't want me to wear it, which keeps us both safe, is because if he's behind me, his like
Yeah.
muscles will twitch and shit.
You get
Yeah.
zapped. Now, you ain't just going to twitch. You're going to get zapped.
Well, someone did say that it's not like you get shocked, but you'll be swimming, you'll realize like your liver is your liver.
Whoa.
Your liver failure. Your liver failed. No, your lips will start like quivering like blah, 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 blah.
no, I was super scared of that thing when you bought it. You were acting like you were gonna zap me with
Remember
it.
when out of the water it goes
Yeah, screw that,
it's
bro.
pretty shitty. But
that.
what's up about my mindset is I haven't worn it yet. And every time we spear together in the most sharky shit, I haven't seen a shark. And in my mind, for some reason, if I put that on, I feel like it's
lets
gonna
them
let them know.
Oh yeah,
So
you're
much
sending
more
pulses
sketch.
out into the water to say,
Yeah.
hey, this is where I am, and then they come up and they're like, oh, okay, I don't want to mess with this guy, but this guy's over here, free.
Yeah.
Let me get him.
Yeah.
Not that sharks are gonna do that, but if you're
Still,
spearing,
it's like more of a mental thing.
yeah.
But I will say I was spoiled when I was diving in Hawaii. I talked to Jay Gad like
Unreal.
every time I hit like a new mark, I was like, "Yo, Jay Gad!" Like I would call my mom, my girl, and Jay Gad because these are the only
I like
people
that
that would
list.
really be like excited for me.
Yeah.
And no, I think it was really cool. Like some of the stuff I got to accomplish in Hawaii, but I want to work together and get us both on like this level because dude,
Let's go.
it's just a mental thing. And the whole time I was telling Ryan Myers, the guy that was helping me dive, I was like, I wish Jared was here because he would be so much better at this. He was like, really? I was like, yeah, he just like mentally, he's just let's go.
Yeah.
It is crazy, man. But watching that guy was insane. And I think you and I easily could sit and spear 67, 70 foot of water, laying on the ground, hanging out, just popping massive fish.
It's coming. This is our year, bro.
Ryan
you got
Meyer-
a little more experience.
Yes.
You know? So we're gonna
Yes.
get after it this year for sure.
Ryan was telling me, he said out of anywhere he could spear in the world, he said the fishiest place is exactly where we live. We're just not going out far enough. And we have the boat that could do it.
Yeah,
Especially
absolutely.
after seeing the boats in Hawaii. You know what's crazy? Nothing dies on those islands. They literally make that joke. They'll have a boat from the freaking 60s or 70s that's like beat down in the motors from the 70s too, bro. And people will keep tweaking them, keep making them work.
Yeah.
Sell them when they leave the island, the boat stays and someone else buys it. Like shit does not die on that island. It is crazy. We're not talking about like exotic, beautiful tourist Hawaii either. We're talking about lava and goddamn rainforest and shacks in between where people are living. It is
buddy.
crazy, bro. It's like a real fish town.
Makes you realize how good we got it here, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's crazy, but I mean, like, my boat here is like a okay boat, but over there, that'd be like
the boat.
that'd be like, oh shit, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. Just it makes me wonder how hard would it be to ship boats over there to sell them for really expensive.
Probably
you know what I mean?
a lot harder than you think.
Yeah, because
You probably wouldn't make your money.
No chance, bro. No chance. I feel like a bag of Pringles over there is way too much money. They
Yeah.
gotta ship that bag of Pringles a long way.
yeah, we gotta go. I gotta get like whenever you get some time off, we gotta literally go just to spear together down there and like have you do the same thing with Ryan. It was crazy. I know we can go to the Bahamas. That's something that's like probably a little more like reasonable.
Yeah.
Rip
That
to the
shit is
Bahamas.
fine.
The only thing that sucks is you love this. You're like a little pole spear.
Oh yeah, I love the
that-
pole spear, man.
That's your
primitive.
thing.
It's
Yeah.
like, it's like archery is to a rifle for like a deer
Yeah.
hunter. You
Yeah.
know?
No spear guns down in the Bahamas, so it's
Yeah.
all pole spear.
Big pole.
I
spears,
enjoy it
flying
though.
slides.
I really enjoy spearing in the Bahamas.
We need to get now that you're going to be down a little bit more for the podcast in the winter and stuff. We need to get he shot some grouper too. We need
Let's
to get you
go.
like dialed again.
Dude, we got to get out there this
Oh,
year
I
and
know.
get after it.
Shut up.
I
Bleep that out.
I mean,
Dark River.
Bristol Criver.
Bristol River. This is the segment called Illegal Shit I Would Like to Do, but how much trouble would I get in if I did it? Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Welcome to the segment called Illegal Shit that I want to know how much trouble I get in. Okay. So, Banger Bass. We don't have a name for him yet.
Banger Bass is pretty dope.
I like it, but I feel like it's very generic. And this is Banger Bass 1.0. He has survived 100% so far.
Hold on. I put out a thing on Instagram to ask you guys what we should name it, and
Yeah.
it's very inappropriate.
Very inappropriate. Wait, can you share some of the names?
One was pubes.
Pubes.
What?
Yeah.
Fanatic
That's
was
horrible.
trying to call him Hemorrhoid.
Yeah.
He was like, how's Hemorrhoid doing today? I'm like, it's not going to work, bro.
That's not good either.
You have a favorite cuss word? I mean,
It's probably.
all right. He told me the bass is legal.
Who? No, it's not.
It's 100% legal. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said illegal.
No, legal.
No, it's legal.
Yeah.
Banger bass is totally
Yeah,
legal.
Banger. Well, we knew that. 100%.
Brandon wants to get rid of him and get a
No. I want to keep
Brandon
him alive.
doesn't want responsibilities.
Well, we only
One.
do the podcast 1 week out of every month. And so it's like I got to keep Banger Bass 1.0 alive for the entire
how hard is
month
it
for
to
next.
What a hassle is it to keep your pet alive?
Well,
Yeah.
let me explain. Which brings us back to segment illegal shit I would like to do, which how much trouble would I get? So I want to feed this motherfucker goldfish. Very easy, very standard bass food for a bass in a fish tank.
Okay.
However, I would also like to start a community of goldfish in my local lake. Which
Don't
is,
do that.
Okay, but again,
Illegal.
illegal. How much trouble would I get in for starting an invasive goldfish pond extravaganza?
A lot. Don't do that.
Allegedly, how much, like prison time, jail time?
That ain't up to me, dog. That's up to the judge.
I went to jail not on the podcast, but we told a jail story on the podcast. Podcast did amazing. So as long as I'm out by next month when the next podcast needs to come out, I'm good.
Yeah, you're good. I got a question.
Let's go.
There's big carp out here.
Yep.
You can spear carp in Georgia.
Yep.
The other day, I almost what? Not in Georgia?
No, you can't.
Oh,
Not
okay.
in Georgia.
Let me just tell you
I see where this is
my
going,
thinking.
though.
So
Jay Gad's
I
like,
thought it
I
would
don't
be
like
super
it.
funny. I was gonna film a video. We were gonna do a catch, clean, cook, but Brandon wasn't here, so it would have been by myself, and I was just gonna go out there, drill one, bring it back, and be like, Brandon, look what I got.
But he was gonna bowfish one, so he was gonna legally.
No,
You were gonna spear?
I was gonna spear it.
Oh, jeez.
But listen, because I didn't know where your bow was.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so then I called Brandon and I'm like, "Hey B, because I got bored. I couldn't find the spear, thankfully,
Yeah.
and I just started.
Thank God.
I was walking, and dude, I could get so close to him.
They
And
literally are on the bank.
and I was
just-
like,
Yeah.
"This is so sick!" Like I was just like looking at him, whatever, scaring him, and then walking up close to
Yeah.
find him again. And so I was like, well, I got done with doing that. I was just super bored. Came back in here, called Brandon, was like, "Yo, I was about to spear this carp." He's like, "No, no, 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 no."
I looked into it because I wanted to
Yeah.
do it for a video. I had huge telephone poles on the property.
Yeah.
I ended up getting rid of them. Corey took them. But I was going to put them in the ground, stand them up, and put a climber on them, and then bowfish carp
Oh,
from
that
a
is
climber.
cool.
Really cool.
Don't do that either.
No,
No, you can't do that.
No, you can't take the carp at all because
Oh.
Florida puts them in
Right.
the lakes for grass control.
Yeah,
Isn't that
see?
correct?
I'm so
But you
proud
can
of
catch 'em
bro.
though, right?
You doing your research
Can you
prior
catch
to
'em?
going out and doing illegal stuff now? I'm
Yeah.
so proud of you.
Can we
guys.
catch him?
Yeah,
You
catch-
can-
catch
okay,
'em all
rod
day.
and reel.
But you got to let them go.
Yep.
You can't let him go in here.
No.
Yeah, don't do that. You cannot possess one. Catch him and then let him go.
You can't remove them from the body of water.
Right.
Yeah.
Dang. So I couldn't even catch one, put it in a cooler, act like I'm gonna
Yeah,
put
don't
it
do
in.
that.
No,
a bag.
let me tell you
Okay.
something. I also learned about this. When you put it in the cooler, immediately. I cast netted gar in the tide pools
In
okay?
Georgia.
Go.
As soon as I put it in my cooler, that's when I got. He was like, as soon as you put it in your cooler, you're now in possession of the gar that you illegally cast netted. If I cast netted the gar and then held them in my hands and then put them in the river, it's completely fine. But the fact that I cast netted, even though I was cast netting for gar, which you can't do,
Yeah.
he said that when I put it in
So
my
you have to be
cooler
like,
to
oh
trans-
no, hopefully there's not a gar there, even though you can see him.
Well, that's exactly what he said. So
Yeah.
there's a bunch of weird
Yeah.
like little things here.
Man,
But
okay.
Is there anything that you would really like to do illegal?
Yeah,
that-
absolutely. There's a lot of stuff that I would like to do, but I do not do.
Kind of circling back to spear fishing and game wardenness. One of the things I realized, Florida does an incredible job at keeping our resources available.
Yep.
So
What does that mean exactly?
when I went to Hawaii,
Right.
on the Big Island at least, there are some safe fish zones,
Yeah.
but from what
Oh,
I
I see
was
what you're saying.
explained to,
Yeah.
every time we got in the water, we either had to swim a few miles to get to a fish zone, and I'm not just like bullshitting.
No,
you,
I
like,
know.
Actually
You're telling
swim.
about it.
I was like getting pissed every time. I was like, Ryan, we can get in. He was like, dude, I'm telling you, there's not going to be fish there. Anywhere where there's a road to the water,
Yep.
or like an easy access to
It's
entry
just
to the water,
dead.
dead zones, bro.
Yeah.
Dead zones. There's no fish there. You have to swim miles, or you have to hike miles to then rappel down to the water.
Yeah.
It is crazy how Hawaii's in the middle of the ocean. There
Yeah.
should be fish everywhere.
Well, you got to think about it. Those spots, those people are there all the time, and then those resources get eat up.
But we're
Yep.
talking about the Big Island.
Yeah.
You don't really, you don't, in my head, I thought the Big Island was like a bigger island. No, it is huge. And there's no one. There's
Right.
no one on the island compared to how big it is.
Yeah.
And
That's the thing that I like about game wardens is on one hand, if you do mess up, it's kind of like being around the cops. Like you you get caught speeding, and you're like, dang it, dude, that cop was a butthole. But I do like the fact that, well, like my buddy is a game warden, but also like it keeps our game and fish and all that. Like as fun as it is to go and spear freaking stripers in a river, like that would be so much fun.
Yep.
But the population would be depleted so fast.
Yep.
So it's like really cool. Like for instance, like deer population. Like we have in Georgia, you can kill 10 does and 2 bucks with antlers.
Okay.
Right. But in some years you can't even kill a buck. But thankfully those numbers are only 2 bucks because there's guys in Georgia that will kill a spike. They don't give these deer a chance, but thankfully they kill 2, and then it's like, okay, all these other ones have a chance.
Right.
So it's really nice that these, because back in the day, like in Georgia, back in the day, I don't know if in a lot of places deer were implemented from all these different areas because of the deer population was
Dwindled down.
basically gone because of.
Right.
Like even back in the day whenever they were killing all those buffaloes and stuff like that. Now that there's...
Do you... you probably see the research side of things on your end as far as like your...
A little bit, yeah.
Like knowing that what's done, like the shocking the ponds and
That
kind of
is
doing
really
the
cool.
math.
Have you gotten to do that yet?
Yeah. So I it's been a little while ago now, but I went out on the shock boat with some of our freshwater fisheries biologists and got to see how that works, which was pretty cool.
That is really cool.
Is there any way that I could like maybe go on a boat with him? Is there any way to do that, or is that like a no civilian task? I feel like that's
I don't know,
something
honestly.
maybe find a private company.
I know another
Really?
YouTuber went out and did it.
Blacktip.
Yeah, he went out and did it. So I'm
Flair
sure if
did
you
Flair did it,
Yeah.
but he had someone come do it to his pond.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You find a private...
I'm sure if you wrote an email to somebody, they might could hook you up.
Yeah.
It's
That's
not like
really
a for
cool.
sure thing, but like, yeah, you could definitely reach out and ask.
When I was this was actually in middle school, we had a mentor apprentice program, and basically the project was you got to take a day off of school and follow someone or some company or some entity of what you wanted to do when you were older. And everybody got 2. One of mine was a fishing captain, which was pretty cool, and the other one was game warden.
Did they line these up for you?
No, I got to pick what I wanted, and then basically it was helped facilitate.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, they helped us like get in touch with people, which was a really cool program. I wanted to be game warden like you are, like now, like patrol, stuff like that. But what I ended up with in the game warden scope of things, or the FWC scope of things, is I ended up with the biologist, which was actually pretty cool too. So we went and they did a bunch of crazy stuff. Like they worked on aerators for ponds. They showed us like the fish counting and keeping equipment, like the shock boats, stuff like that. And it was just a really cool day. And I learned a lot of important stuff about it that I didn't know. There's a lot of back end stuff besides the patrol
Absolutely.
that the resource people do. It's pretty wild.
Tell us, so for those of you that don't, I don't know what a game warden does on a daily basis. So like Monday through Friday, I know it could be ever changing, but what is a regular day for you?
So a regular day, a lot of what I do is based on, what season it is. So no day is
The same.
per se the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like right now we're getting into boating season, so we'll be on the water a lot, enforcing boating safety stuff. We just came out of turkey season. We were doing a lot of turkey stuff.
When you say a lot of turkey stuff, are you going to an area where is it mainly public land?
Sometimes it's public, sometimes it's private.
So just not because I want to know anything, but
No, not that I've done any of this.
but like, okay, so okay, this is public land. We're going to go out here and kind of listen for people, go find those people, check if they have license, stuff like that, make sure they haven't killed too many birds.
Yeah, yes and no.
What about like public land? Are do you get tipped off like, hey, there's going to be some hunters around here. We're going to go and kind of.
Yeah, sometimes you get, folks call in about, honestly, that's the biggest help is when folks call in about things like that.
God, those people.
It's tough, man. There's not like,
Yeah.
Florida's got a pretty big, FWC is a pretty big agency as far
Right.
as law enforcement and game wardens go. Because I know a lot of other states do not have a whole lot of game wardens.
Right.
There's a show, I can't think of it, but it's Texas Game Wardens.
Yeah.
Dude, there's like 3 for like hundreds and thousands of miles.
Crazy.
It is wild.
For a time in my town, we didn't have one.
That's unreal.
And it
Just
was
a free for all out there.
Yeah, well, it wasn't. Yes, but
Back when
Killed
I
so many deer.
no. But like the closest one was like an hour away. So if anything happened, it was just like because there's been a lot of situations where you're in a hunting situation or fishing where in my case where I was completely legal, but someone didn't like what I was doing and they called the game warden.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not doing anything illegal, so I'm not staying right here. I'm going to keep fishing. I'm going to keep hunting, whatever, and then go about my day. If the game warden shows up, we'll have a conversation and everything will be okay.
And then I'll just hide my spotlight.
Yeah, but then I'm going to run, hide my gun, and no.
I know we're making so many terrible
Yeah, this is terrible jokes. I do not poach, anything like that. But it's kind of crazy as far as like you go out in pretty much any body of water here in Florida, and there's so many bodies of water, you're most likely going to run into a game warden
Eventually.
In Florida, in Florida, you will see.
But it's like Georgia, it's mainly like, and what's crazy is we only have a select few lakes where I'm from, and there's not as many game wardens as you would think.
Well, I'll tell you this: not only game warden, but sheriff out on our bodies of water, like the chain.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Like on
they don't mess
weekends,
around here, bro.
Oh gosh, dude.
Yeah, they're out there.
Literally, especially jet skiers, which I am one. If my shit wasn't broken for 5 months, sick.
What happened here, Jesse?
It's just hanging out at the place that it's getting repaired on, just sitting there for.
Just back.
Couldn't tell you.
Okay.
I don't know. But anyway, the jet skiers there, they literally will ask like, "How's that lake? What's the patrol look like?" Because, dude, I mean, I got a ticket for doing donuts by myself on the lake.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there were no boats around. This is how bad it was, dude. Person in the parking lot, a sheriff in the parking lot, called a boat from a different lake onto me. I was on the lake by myself just doing donuts.
You can't do donuts on a jet ski?
I guess it impaired my 360-degree view of some. I don't know.
I feel like you're going in 360 degrees.
I felt like I could see perfect. No,
I saw the whole thing.
The thing is, I do understand the reckless part of jet skiing, but it was just so frustrating because I was just by myself on the lake, literally by myself. It's like there's no one here. But yeah, that was my my famous moment with the sheriffs of Polk County, Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sick.
Okay, I got a crazy thing. Have you ever heard of, talking about poaching, the Prince of Poachers?
The Prince of Poachers.
If you haven't heard of it,
Good.
This guy.
That's me.
No. So this guy, this was back in the day, maybe like 70s or 80s, I don't know. But this guy's still alive, and he used to. So back in the day, poaching would be like, if you got caught and everything, it'd be like a little fine, like $200, whatever.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't as serious, supposedly.
Yeah.
And so this guy, there's a story, it's called Prince of Poachers. It's this guy, and he would, in these big ranches back in the day, like out in Texas.
Okay,
and
so
like,
that's not. I think I have heard this story.
Yeah.
Actually. This is not a Florida thing.
No, this is not a Florida thing. He would go and he would. He said he wouldn't start hunting until he was 12 miles in.
Yes, I've heard this story.
Into a ranch.
Yes.
Right. So he would not start hunting until he was 12 miles in, and he would go. He would, mind you, he would have he said his pack was over 100 pounds. Because he had food, water, hunting materials, camping, everything he needed to be able to hunt for a week, right? Yeah. So he would go out there, and he thrived off the hunting like and being hunted by the game wardens. And this went on for years. And so and they had like poaching communities, like not a community like this is where everybody lived, but they would have like get-togethers every year to talk about the game that they harvested and stuff like that. So this guy would walk 12 miles before he started hunting. He'd take his first shot, take that deer, and then he knew that they were coming for him once they heard that shot, right? He would do things like God, this is so bad for the people that actually poach. He would do things like if it got muddy, he would put these burlap sacks on his feet so they couldn't track his footsteps.
He already knows
no
about
foot
it.
sign.
Yeah. So then it was this major game of cat and mouse for years, and it got to the point where, you know, technology evolved and he got tipped off that they were using thermals. So then he got a tent. He made it to where they couldn't see his heat signature. Like, this dude was nuts. And it got to the point where he was like, he's like, you know, I changed my life. You know, he gave away all his mounts. He was a taxidermist as well. So like all these world-class bucks that he was killing, he would just take them back, you know, mount him himself, and nobody knew. So then he kind of like lost the love for it, and then it was like us, we're taking people to Jenny and showing them.
So you just take other poachers out.
He would take law enforcement out.
What?
So
Jared just turned at you like this.
And mind you, so mind you, these people, they knew who he was, but they couldn't catch him, right? And they would do all these different things, but it got to the point where, now this is like the game warden side. The law enforcement, somebody found out and came, and he was like, hey man, I want to do this one time. I've never killed a nice buck. Like I know you don't know, but he was killing like 150, 170, 180 inch deer.
But who said they wanted to do this?
This was a law like a cop came to him, and he was like, you know, I didn't know, but I'm not telling the story totally right, but basically he was like, I want to do this one time only. I want to go on this trip with you, and then I don't want anybody to talk about it. Please don't talk about it. So they do it. They kill almost. They kill like 5 trophy class animals, right?
Okay.
They're on the way. Successful mission. They have all the deer in the back of the truck. They get picked up. They're heading to the taxidermy shop to drop off the deer. They get pulled over.
Okay.
Cop gets out of the car. He's like, hey man, I'm law enforcement, blah, blah. We're taking these deer to the taxidermist. He picked up some deer from other people. They let him go. And the cop is like, don't tell anybody about this, blah, 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 whatever. He's like, I wouldn't say a word. And this is he was like talking like this. He's like, I wouldn't tell nobody, blah, blah, blah. And so then the cop leaves before the guy can get all the deer like into the freezers and stuff like that. His buddy, the cop's buddy, comes over and says, I want to do this, blah, blah. So it's like this long trail, but it's a really, really cool story. And they finally catch him, and he like helps them find other poachers and stuff like that. But it's crazy. Have you had any extensive searches for, well, if it's an ongoing process, you can't talk about it right now, right?
Yeah, I can't talk about any active investigations.
Yeah, but have you had any where like you know a poacher, you haven't been able to catch him yet, and you keep like
Not yet. But
yet.
I'm sure I'll have something like that in the future, yeah.
But that was crazy.
Is that like a show or a book? Or?
No, he wrote a book, but this is just the guy's like, let me show you a picture real fast. If you type it in, it's a pretty crazy story. And there's he does a podcast with somebody, and he reveals all his secrets. Yeah. He wrote a book and everything. That's really cool. It's really cool, but
this guy's just like fixing up his.
Honestly, man, I'm having a great time in this ghillie suit. I bought it for a video. I was bow fishing tilapia, and
why do you need a ghillie suit to bow fish?
Okay, well, we're talking about YouTube here.
So like this, hold on, real quick. This is the like that's one trip. Look at all those deer.
That's a bunch of deer. It's pretty bad.
I'd like to make that case.
I was bow fishing, and I was like 20,000 likes. I'll wear a ghillie suit next time and sneak up on it.
No, he didn't.
What?
Anyways.
What?
Have you had to use a ghillie suit to be able to sneak up on?
No, but I know a guy that's got one now, and I may or may not be using it.
Let me ask you this.
I know a guy that's got one.
I don't know if you can answer this, but again, on that show, there was like remote control deer, there was thermal optics, there was like special blackout switches on vehicles, there was all types of crazy shit. Can you talk about any crazy shit like that, or does that exist?
We got that stuff.
Damn, so y'all got a budget.
I mean, yes and no.
Florida probably gets after it pretty hard. I mean, they got quite a few officers.
Florida is definitely they definitely care a lot about the resources.
Who's
cool?
Out of all of the 50 states, do all 50 states have conservation control of some sort?
I would imagine so. Yeah, I mean, I can't really speak to what other states do, but yeah, to my knowledge, I mean, most states have.
Is there
game wardens.
An outstanding state that's like embodies like you know what I mean? Like, is there like a top tier state?
I would say probably Florida, and then Texas has got a really
Both
good.
big game and fish states, though. That makes sense.
Dude, Alaska's crazy.
Oh, you were saying they're literally if
They
you don't
pay money in Alaska.
really,
Bro. Yeah.
would you go?
No chance.
No chance.
So
Not you.
I was
Got you.
fishing for king salmon, and what's crazy, you have to check if you can fish that day because they have fish counters to make because they're spawning, right? So they have fish counters on every river, and if there wasn't enough fish that had gone upriver,
Right.
of a specific species
cool.
of fish, then you cannot fish that day.
Yeah.
So it's super crazy, and you got to be on your shit. Like, and so you have like tags, like big game.
Yeah.
And if you do not write, or it's basically a license, and you have to write it down. I don't know if you have to measure it or you don't have to weigh it, but I think you have to measure it and write down
Right.
before you touch the fish. You bank the fish before you touch the fish. Like unhook it, you have to write it down. There was a guy, I was standing right there. He catches the fish. This is on video. He catches the fish. The fish is laying there. He takes pictures of it. Guy comes up, writes him a ticket. Boom, done.
Because he took pictures of it?
No, because he didn't write it down. He didn't log it.
Okay, I'm tracking.
Damn.
Interesting.
Didn't even it was maybe 2 minutes after he caught the fish.
Damn.
So it was intense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gators are, I mean, not that hardcore, but like right when you kill the gator, you have to put your tag in his tail.
Yeah.
Like you can't kill the gator, put him in the boat, and then just be like coming back to the boat ramp, and you get the boat ramp, load the truck up.
Yeah.
All right, I got the boat in the trailer, and now I put the tag in his tail.
Right.
It's the same thing. Right when you kill it, put the tag in his tail.
Yeah.
Same thing. Maybe not as hardcore. That sounds pretty hardcore, but yeah.
Yeah.
Similar concept.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I had something I wanted to talk about, and I almost completely forgot, but I remember now. So Florida just did something very exciting. I'm pretty sure it passed.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Goliath grouper.
Yeah.
It was very exciting for me until I found out the slot size is 24 to 36 inches or something like that. So it's
Something
somewhere
like that.
in there.
I know there's like a 36 inch maximum.
It's like
I'm pretty sure.
It's somewhere. It's not absurd.
It's not huge like it should. I'm not even gonna get it.
Like you want it to be.
Yeah,
maybe.
I mean, if you want to kill a Goliath grouper, you'd want to kill a huge one. But again, I'm not a biologist. I don't know what their lifespan's like, what their breeding cycle's like. I have no clue about any of that stuff.
Now,
but if you,
dude, they should do a lotto system where you can take one a year, and it's a lotto system where one person wins it.
Here's the up part. Even the small fish is a lottery system.
Oh, yeah.
it's just like gator tags. Yeah.
So here's what's kind of frustrating for me as like a fisherman, a sportsman, like a free dive or a spear fisherman. I was very excited to hear that. A lot of people are like the $500. So I'm going to lay out the new regs for Goliath grouper. Basically, this is a grouper that can get like 600-700 pounds. I think that's
big as
accurate.
A freaking little Volkswagen.
I mean, literally, it's like little four-wheeler or big four-wheelers riding around underwater is what a Goliath grouper is. And he will eat your shit and fuck your shit up.
Yeah.
So there's something pretty crazy that Florida has quite a few of. And they finally they were completely protected. You couldn't even take them out of the water in the past, but now they just opened up a new season for them where you can take them, and they're a smaller slot of like 24 to 36. I could be off on the size a little bit, but you get me. It's not an 8-foot fish like it could be. There's also a thing where a tag to put in, it's $500. Now, I could be wrong on some of these details. It could be $499. I don't know. You get what I'm saying, though. Somewhere around $500. If you do get chosen, your account gets hit with the $500, and now you have a tag. Is that correct as far as like how the tag process goes in payment?
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Okay. So you put in for this tag, $500. If you don't get it, then you get your money back. But if you do get it, it costs $500 to get this fish. Now, it's a smaller size. Now, the fish Jay Gad and I were getting were a gag grouper has to be 24 inches. And that almost feels small when it's a grouper compared to the big 30-something inchers. So when you're talking about a fish that gets 600-700 pounds and you can only take one this big, it's kind of frustrating.
Yeah.
What was even more frustrating is you can only take them by hook and line, I believe. No spearfishing at all. Which is like, damn, bro,
Yeah.
that sucks. That's what I want to do. I wanted to spear one, and definitely can't.
I would imagine that, like, I think the reason why they were protected is because of overharvesting years ago. So the big ones, you would think, have to have some kind of food value. But again,
They probably think they're the
would think
breeders, though.
that too. But I would think that a really big one probably wouldn't taste that good, personally.
I agree, but have you seen, like, I think it's like what, the Warsaw Grouper or something like that?
Yeah, they get huge.
They're huge too, right? They're like 600, 700 pounds.
Yeah.
Like, somebody was saying that fish like that big are like 20 years old or something like that. I don't know again, we're on the biology side of things, which I think none of us are completely.
I'm not an expert.
Right. But, if that's the case, that's pretty insane to think. Bringing on a new segment, not illegal shit that I would like to do, but don't want to get arrested for, or whatever that terrible segment was we did. A segment that I don't think we've done in a minute, but it's a trend here on the channel, is What's Your Tock? And basically it's TikTok. There's a whole bunch of shit on there, and what are you seeing right now? What's the trendy stuff going on? It's always like completely off the scope of whatever the podcast is. Do you have TikTok by any chance?
I don't have TikTok. No.
Smart man.
I was dedicated to not getting TikTok because I didn't want to spend way too much time on it. And then Instagram and YouTube started doing their own thing, and so I'm sucked into the wormhole just like everybody else.
Oh God! But you're just on Instagram
So-
Reels instead of
Yeah.
TikTok. Okay.
Yeah.
So basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Is there anything? It doesn't have to be a specific video, but like, what are you seeing a lot of on Instagram Reels? Maybe since you don't have TikTok.
My algorithm is like dog videos and like
cute dogs or like.
cute dogs, and just funny dog stuff in general.
That's cute.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. T, are you on anything right now?
No, mine. So for what was super funny is, dude, for about a week,
Yeah.
my TikTok was dead.
Oh,
Like
yeah?
I wasn't getting anything funny. Like
Okay.
it was mainly like it didn't have any views. It didn't have any likes. Like I was like, what is going on? Like
you were on off-brand TikTok,
dude, it was
Talk.
very, very bad. And I wasn't getting any of the funny shit that I usually get.
Yeah.
And I was very sad.
I'm on a pretty weird trend right now. I have been seeing this isn't my talk, but there is a TikTok that's really funny right now. It's a picture of game wardens on a boat, and they're like, looked away for 1 second. Where the hell did that blue flats boat with the 400 racing Merc just go? And it's the music drops, and it's this kid.
them running down
He's
the
getting his
road,
going at the and he's basically the caption's like, use my 400 Merc in 4 inches of water gone or some
Yeah.
shit like that. It's just funny because some kids are banging out like flats boats with the massive
absolutely.
racing motors getting after it. But that's just a funny one I saw that's game warden
Absolutely.
worthy. What my talk is right now, it's a trend that I want to get off of, but it's kind of like a train wreck because you can't stop looking at it. Also,
God. I was like, train wreck. You're seeing train wrecks on TikTok? But go ahead.
worse,
Okay.
earwax talk. Oh shit, bro!
So satisfying though.
It is. That's the problem.
The one where they're spraying the water in it?
No, better. Where they
Those
have
are good
like
too,
the
though.
Suction.
scraper,
Oh.
the scraper with the ear cam, and they're just scraping out, just dude. I want to go to one of those places and get my ears done. I
have a camera.
Dude, my
Do
wife's
you?
got one too,
Yeah.
dude. It's
Really?
like strange.
I
and
have
nice
one.
to
Earwax
watch
cam?
it. Yes.
Yeah, I have an earwax cam.
So I would assume my ears are very clean. I am obsessed with Q-tips, especially after I
Yeah.
shower. I also wanted to ask one question. My girl requested this to be asked on TikTok or on this
Trend.
pod. Yeah. Because it's so weird. And I think what she does is gross, but she thinks what she does is normal. So we need to take a poll
Okay.
and leave it up to the people and or discuss it on the pod right
Right.
now. So earwax talk is fucking gross, but it's
Yeah.
awesome at the same time. And I would love to. I feel like it's satisfying getting it pulled out. You probably hear so good. I don't know.
So you would be surprised. Like some people,
Yeah.
like I had that camera. My ears are crystal clean. I use Q-tips. They say that Q-tips are bad, but dude, they feel so good.
They say they're bad if you're pushing the wax in.
Yeah. I don't know what
So
I'm doing, but
it
I don't
probably
have.
could
I
be bad.
Like I check my ears probably once a month. I rarely have anything.
You
in
check
them.
your ears with the
Yeah.
camera once a month.
Yeah.
Got
The
it.
reason I got it was because my eardrum busted, or I had a pin size hole in
perforated
my
eardrum?
whatever.
Yep.
And I was checking to see if it had healed.
Right.
Like so, I got it to be able to say like, all right, now I can dive again.
Right.
But then I got it and was like checking people's ear. It's nuts, bro.
Yeah.
And some people have just absurd amounts for some reason, and some people are just crystal clean.
So my girl, when we get out of the shower, I get 2 Q-tips.
Right.
One side for the outside, flip it. The other one goes deep.
Yeah.
Throw that one away. Same. What she does is she takes a Q-tip and she wets it with her mouth first and then does it.
Yeah, no.
Have you? Is that not
that is-
weird?
I got no problem with that.
You have no problem with that.
No problem.
I think it's so weird.
I don't have a problem with it, but my ears are already wet from the shower.
That's where I'm at.
You in there with the shower head, just like
No, but
No,
water.
but I just-
But there's like the most of the time that I clean my ears is I'm not getting any earwax out. I'm just getting the water out.
I'm not getting like water, but
It's just a little bit damp.
I will say if I were to use a Q-tip right now, not out of the shower, I would want it a little like
Damp.
But there's no need to wet it when I'm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's a super weird thing. Literally every time I get out of the shower and I pass an eye a Q-tip, I'm like, ugh. They call it ick. It's a ick or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you're just putting unwanted, like.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know, bro.
There's like bacteria that's in your mouth that doesn't need to be in your ear.
Look,
Nah,
it's
it don't
weird.
matter, bro. It's all good.
I mean, I love Anaya to death. I just think it's a little weird that she does that. So let us know in the comments what you think about it. Or am I just a weirdo that I'm not giving her a little lube before I put her in the oil ear?
No. Q-tips hit different out of the shower rather than just like right now.
What about Q-tips out of the river? They hit mega different.
Yeah. Anytime you're diving or
Yeah.
anything.
Jake's a big Q-tip guy. ASAP Rocky as soon as he gets out of the river. He's just quick with it. Q-tips in the fanny pack with
He damn near
almighty.
Oh, he brings them with him.
He freaks
that's
out
hardcore.
that if he doesn't have a Q-tip, he's like, oh, I got water in my ear. I'm like, bro, it'll come out.
People do like, especially divers, they have really weird like rituals that they do. Like Jake is an immediate Q-tip guy, and Ryan Myers has like a whole ear drying process when he gets out of the water. And not like we're doing a catch and cook and he's doing his thing, but like when he gets home, there's a certain thing I didn't ever watch, but he was like, you don't ever have any problems with your ears as far as like drying them out? Or it's like, no, I just swim and then I come home and I'll take a shower and then I'll go to bed. And he's like, what? So divers specifically had to, but he's also way more extreme than I am. He's dropping like 200 foot, 250 foot. I'm sure it's much different.
Yeah.
Different level.
Yeah, I'm not dropping 250 foot.
Yeah.
How did you mess up your eardrum? I wanted to ask that. I didn't want to interrupt you.
Yeah,
Probably diving with a sinus infection.
No, it was just randomly one day. It could have definitely been because of a sinus infection, but one day it wasn't like anything crazy either. It wasn't like a ton of pain or anything. It was just I was diving multiple days in a row.
Yeah.
And then one day I was just like, man, my ear's kind of hurting.
Yeah.
And the pain would go away, and then like when I would dive, it would hurt. And so I went to the doctor, and they're like, yeah, you guys, a little pin-sized hole in there.
Dude, that's wild.
No blood or anything.
I woke up with blood on my pillowcase a few times from my ears.
Yeah.
Like after diving.
Yeah.
Just randomly. It doesn't hurt, though. It's just weird.
Yeah, no
So
blood
it just
or
healed up,
anything.
though. Just like skin, like it just heals.
Yeah, but I need to look at it, but I haven't looked at it in a while. But for a while, it looked like that part of my ear was dead. It was weird.
What the
like the whole, like you can see your ear, like this, and like this side, and half of that area was like gray rather than like if it were say pink. Or
It's like bruised almost.
yeah.
Okay.
Really weird.
Huh.
Well, what do you think, bro? You think we've made it to the end of the Game Warden Green Pant pod?
Yeah, didn't get a ticket yet. Feels good.
Yeah, bro. He's like, just wait. When you come
hang out- you
outside.
hang out long enough, I'll give you a
That's what I'm saying.
honorary
Everything I do
ticket.
on my story, he messaged me, hey, you got to put that turtle down.
Really? That's
I'm going to block you. I'm going to block you, Jay Gad.
It needs to be close friends only.
Yeah.
And he's the only one that's not.
He'd be putting out deer corn. I'd be like, hey man, you better ease off them yellow acorns.
Hey, what's really funny is he'll come out on the boat with me and he'll be like, hey man, do you got all your, I'm like, bro, I specifically made sure I had all my shit just
All your
because
life
you're coming
vests
on
and
board.
stuff?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
like
gotta
all
have
my
it.
stuff. So it's one thing that you know, you think about, but then when you got your best friend who's like, that's his job, and you would put his stuff in jeopardy if you mess up, that shit hits different. So I'm on my P's and Q's now, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
I ain't riding dirty no more. I'm not taking car no more.
No more.
Yeah, whatever.
I
man.
put that in the past.
Yeah, it's behind me now. But
I do not poach deer anymore.
I had a great time, man. I'm really glad you came on the pod.
Honestly, it's good to see you. I haven't seen you in probably 2 years.
Absolutely. Yeah, great to see you.
After this, we're gonna go.
Congratulations on the marriage and
Thank
everything.
you. Yeah, a lot of big stuff going on in life.
Yeah, man. After this, we're gonna go to Petco. We're gonna get some goldfish for banger bass here, and then I might accidentally trip and fall and just dump a whole colony of goldfish to the lake.
We're
All
not,
right.
We're not going to do that.
Well, thank you guys for joining. If you're listening to us audio, please give us a 5-star review.
Yeah, we told you all the illegal shit that we are going to do and expose ourselves on audio only.
Yeah.
So if you guys go over there to Radio Shack.
Visual, YouTube, you guys are killing it. Subscribe, comment, leave us a big thumbs up. We're about to rip this Polaroid real quick. We love you guys.
Yeah. We'll see you guys in jail, because that's where we're going. We do a Polaroid on the podcast live while it's still recording. Thank you guys so much for watching the Banger Podcast, featuring the Banger Bass and our Banger friend, former or now honorary Bang Bro.
Honorary Bang Bro.
Jay Gad.
Yeah. We love you. That is all.
All right. Bye, guys. Love you. Peace out, Girl Scouts.